Okay, we're doing another one. Hi, hello, and welcome. How's it going, guys? It's been another couple of weeks. I'm sorry, but we'll cover all that in a little bit. Hi, and welcome to another Patreon vlog. Let me plug in my phone while we're talking because I'm sure it's going to be a while. So hello, greetings. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, first of all. Again, it's probably going to be a long video, so the best way probably to enjoy this or to experience it is to play it in the background while you're doing something else, perhaps like driving along. Don't watch the video while you're driving, or putting it on the background while you're doing some other stuff. But if you want to watch it, that's cool too. That's fun. I don't know. You do you. Friends, you do you. Today is Monday, March 10th, 11th. It is now the 11th. Today is Monday, March 11th. And I just wanted to check in with you guys and update you about things that I've been doing. Things have been going through my head. And just, I don't know. I actually, I wrote down a bunch of things. I wrote down like a bunch of sticky notes. There's like 6 of these sticky notes that I wrote down. So if I'm looking down or whatever, you see me looking at stuff, it's because I wrote down a bunch of notes. I don't know. It felt like a fun thing to do this time to write, I don't know, more or less like an outline of what I wanted to talk about. I was really just gonna like write down topics, but I wrote down like a sentence or two for each topic as well. So it's like a detailed outline. If you guys remember that from school, like high school and whatnot, they teach you how to do outlines, and then like detailed outlines is where you start like fleshing things out and whatnot. And I've got peppermint tea here, and it's quite delicious. I left this on the screen from our streams. Instead of just doing just the webcam, I actually thought maybe having the text there might be helpful for some people. So I decided to just leave it on this one so that we can have the text there for you guys. So okay, so hello, welcome. It's March. I'm pretty sure the last time I did a vlog was in February, so greetings and welcome to March. Today I sent out the first shipment of headshots and thank you notes to you guys. I sent out about 6 of them. So I messaged each of you individually on Patreon. So what I'm doing is like I want to make sure that they arrived safe and sound first before I send out the rest of them. So if anything does go wrong with it, then we can fix that before doing all of them. So if you're one of the 6 who got the messages, just let me know yes or no that it arrived safely. You know, let me know if there was any issues, if the package was bent or anything like that. I don't know. Just let me know if there's any issues. And thanks for being my guinea pigs, you 6. And the rest of you should be getting for those 6. It should be arriving around Thursday or Friday. I think Thursday, but I say Friday just in case. For the rest of you guys, you should be getting yours within the next week or so. I'm gonna go ahead and like work on most of the stuff. I'll hold off the packaging until we get the okay from people. But then after that, we'll be good to ship them off. So yay! And if you live international, don't worry, it's still coming your way. I may do a little bit more careful packaging for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I was kind of like hesitant towards doing this video for a couple days because I wanted to tell you guys about things that I had done instead of things I was planning to do, because I think I'm really guilty in past years of just talking about things I'm going to do and not ever getting that stuff done. And so as a result, I've grown hesitant of talking about things that I'm going to do. Really, it's when I'm late on something. I don't like talking about things I'm gonna do. I just like to get it done and then tell whoever it is that it's done, and also usually go a step beyond. Hopefully, usually, and to try and make up for being late, because it's a pretty constant thing that's in my life. We'll talk more about that in a second. There was something else I wanted to tell you about that. Um, and let me jot down as well. Okay. So, yeah, especially with Patreon, I just have a bad history, if we're being honest with myself. Bad history of making promises and not following through on them. And you're probably starting to see that already happening with this new recent stuff in the past like month or two. So on one hand, I'm frustrated with myself about that. I'm frustrated with myself that I've fallen into this habit again. But at the same time, there's this mantra that I'm going to tell you guys about in a little bit. That's kind of helped me. You can see it in my thoughts right now. So in case you don't know, like I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. Not every version of ADHD is the same. Some people have it just shows up in different ways. Let's just say that. It just shows up in different ways for everyone who has it. For me, it's inability to really focus for too long on something unless it genuinely captures my interest. And also it makes tedious things that are very simple and like easy to do, like things like just signing a card and putting it in the mail. But of course there's like dozens of those that I have to do for you guys, but it's like small things can seem like huge tasks. And I also like to make sure that things are done correctly all the way through. Like I like to make sure that everything about it has been every part of the process has been well researched and more or less perfected. Not really perfected. It's not like an OCD level type of thing, but like I really like to make sure that things are going to be done right if they're going to be done at all. Those two things combined, where it feels like a mountain and I really want to make sure that everything's done right, can make tasks, even a task such as like cooking a hot breakfast, can make that feel like a massive undertaking. And as a result, I just eat cereal a lot or leftover pizza instead of just cooking eggs. Like cooking eggs is easy. When I actually do it, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. But then the next time it's time to do it again, I like get intimidated by how much work there is required to do it. Because there's definitely more work to cook an egg than there is to like just pour a bowl of cereal. But the egg is definitely better for you and like more protein, healthier, less carbs. Carbs are good, but like, a bowl of cereal is not necessarily as nutritious as like a couple cooked eggs. Anyways, I digress. There's but so I think okay, what does this note say? Yeah, so anyways, with the ADHD one, I think I wrote it down for later, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it now. One mantra that's really helped me recently is I read through this. There's this journalist on Twitter named Yashar. I think that's his name. Let me look it up real quick. Yashar Ali, and his handle is @Yashar, YASHAR. And I know him of him as a journalist, but I happened to stumble across his profile recently, and he has a pinned thread at the top of his Twitter feed that he wrote. It's a moment, one of those Twitter moments, where he talks about living with ADHD for himself. And I read through it, and there's close to 30 tweets. And it was really nice to read about someone else's take on it. And I was like, oh, this sounds very, very similar to the stuff that I have. But there's this mantra I think he says in there. I'm pretty sure I got it from there. Anyways, it's that even a little bit is a little bit. So even if it feels like it's a massive project, like sending out these letters or whatever it is, there's lots of other things, like getting my office cleaned. My office is now pretty well put together. The music desk is not quite where I want it, but the point is, even a little bit is a little bit. So even if you make a little bit, even if you spend like 10 to, maybe I feel like I talked about this to you guys. Maybe I talked about it on stream. I'm not sure. I'm getting some deja vu right now. Even if your goal is to clean the house and it feels overwhelming, because that is a big task, even if you just spend like 15 minutes washing the dishes or putting away the dishes that are already clean or whatever, even a little bit is a little bit. Even a little bit helps you achieve your goal eventually. It helps you make progress on it. So for people, if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed with something, even if you can just spend 10 to 15 minutes every now and then working on it, it's progress, and it'll help you get to where you want to be eventually. And that's something that's really been helpful for me. I started taking that into account, and it helps me really make some progress on some tasks. And then I would get, either distracted or like overwhelmed or whatever. And I would go do something else, and then I would come back to it eventually, and I'd make a little bit more progress. So one of the mantras for this one, I have a couple of different mantras. I like the giving of mantras to you guys. It's something that I kind of get excited about, because it's really mantras that I've picked up and that vibrate or resonate with me, and that I want to hand to you guys in the hopes that it might help you as well. So I really like the idea of the mantras stuff. So one of the mantras for today's video is even a little bit is a little bit. I just really like it. Okay, so last video's mantra was to push through the chaos. And I really feel like I've been able to, I really feel like I'm doing that right now in the current last 5 to 10 days of March. It's good. I definitely have a lot going on. There's a lot of various things happening, but I really do feel like I'm able to push through and still maintain my focus and my concentration, and my making progress and being productive on things. So I'm feeling really good about that. And as someone with, I want to say as someone with ADHD or with someone with ADD, partially because I want to break the stereotype of like people with ADD. I think most people who ever see me or watch me or whatever, they probably wouldn't think that I have ADD or ADHD. Side note, ADHD is the medically correct term as of right now, according to the DSM. I don't have the hyperactivity, which is what the H stands for, so I prefer ADD. But if I were to correctly follow the guidelines or whatever, it'd be ADHD. That's why you might hear me say ADD or ADD, ADHD, whatever. Currently, you're just supposed to say ADHD. If you were to watch me or whatever, you would probably not think that I have ADHD. But again, it appears in different forms. There's a lot of different factors that's different ways that it can show up. And especially ADHD in adults is pretty different than it is in kids, because as adults, you probably have more like self-control in different ways. Some people have physical self-control. Some people have more mental and emotional self-control. So, in adulthood, you've developed different abilities to, probably be able to, if it didn't show up, if it wasn't really prevalent in your youth, it's probably because you developed skills about it. And now it's manifesting in different ways in your adulthood, but not always. Everyone's different. As someone with ADHD, this is really good for me to be able to just push through the chaos and be able to focus, because I get distracted easily. Word. If you listen to how I talk, you can probably that's actually, I think, where it's the most obvious, is because I'll start down many different tracks when I'm talking. And a year ago it was much worse, but I've become better about controlling what I'm talking about, maintaining my thought process, and that kind of stuff. But I still kind of jump around from topic to topic. But also, the one thing I need to say real quick is that I'm actually going to try and make steps. So far, I am officially undiagnosed. I have never been diagnosed for it. I went to therapy. I started going to general therapy about a year ago, and I went for a couple months, and then I stopped going for a variety of reasons. And But as a result, I've never officially been diagnosed for ADHD or bipolar, and it is my belief that I probably have both. Having gone to Yale, majored in psychology, studied this stuff, looked objectively at the descriptors and the signs, and then reflected upon myself, and it also runs in my family. So I'm pretty sure that I have both of those, as probably most of you guys know, but it's really not a big deal. I just like to be very upfront and honest with you guys about stuff because I'm all about destigmatizing things when possible. So I've never been officially diagnosed, but I would like to, because I would like to know for sure. I would like the information of like, is this what's going on? Is this what's actually happening? You know, it's like just knowing for sure what it is, you know, like it's like knowing where you are in the world. Are you in Los Angeles? Are you in New York? If you just woke up somewhere and you're like, where the heck am I? It would be nice to have that information of knowing where you are. So it's like getting a mental understanding of myself. So, anyways, I took a couple steps to do that. To basically, you need to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist or doctor or therapist and talk to them, and they evaluate you and you receive an official diagnosis. You know, you go to an expert and they give you a diagnosis. Really what I would like is I would like to try some medication for my ADHD, because I really feel like it holds me back on a lot of stuff. I don't think I've really shared with you guys the stress and anxiety that my ADHD causes. But it is severe. So when I fall behind on rewards for Patreon, for example, or the reason that I don't have a Twitch schedule is because of anxiety. And the reason that I was so bad about uploading YouTube videos is because I just couldn't focus enough, and it was overwhelming to edit videos. All that I feel like really stems from my ADHD. I don't feel like it's related to my bipolar. My bipolar is like of a different breed of stuff. I think the two definitely interact a little bit. But that's also why I really like to drink wine, is because the wine kind of like slows my brain down a little bit, and it relaxes and it takes stress off. All these things that come from my ADHD that cause the anxiety and stuff. I don't think that I have like an anxiety disorder, because it's not like it comes from not being able to focus and other stuff. I feel like I'm having to defend myself, and I don't have to defend myself. Anyways, that's part of the reason I really like to drink wine, is because it kind of like calms my brain down. It's really nice. Has a nice effect. But I would like to try out some medication for ADHD to see if that helps. If that helps with a variety of things. A lot of people who say they have ADHD and finally tried medication, a lot of them say like really turned their life around from like all the ways that they were like not doing well, not succeeding in life, like letting other people down, letting themselves down. It helped turn their life around in a ways that you know is I mean they like Yashar's words was like a way that he can't describe. It turned his life around. So like I would love to see if that works for me, you know, like that'd be cool if that would help with this stuff that I deal with. So anyways, point is, I would love to try out some medication for ADHD, but you need a prescription. Or to get a prescription, you need to be diagnosed. So I'm going to a doctor tomorrow. It's a general doctor, to hopefully start the process to be able to get some kind of prescription for ADHD. I have no idea what that means. I'm just trying to make progress on it. And yep. just trying to make progress. Even a little bit is a little bit. So I've made the doctor appointment. I'm going tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try and let you guys. I'll try and let you guys know in the next video how things are going. I think for me, bipolar is less of an inhibitor or less of an obstacle for me to get around, because the ADHD like prevents me from doing small menial tasks. It prevents me from like doing just like normal human being stuff. Bipolar is more emotional rather than mental. Bipolar either makes me feel amazing or it makes me feel awful. And on the awful days, you just kind of gotta sit it out and like let it write itself out for me. But when I'm feeling really good in bipolar, it's like, it's great, it's amazing, it's like incredible. So I feel like I've figured out my own ways to handle my bipolar. It doesn't really get in the way too much, but one thing you do have to be careful. I don't know why I'm going on and on about this. I'm sorry, it's not really relevant to you guys. I guess I'm just wanting to talk about it. Sorry. ADHD medication can interact with bipolar, so that's one thing I'm a little nervous about, and we got to be careful about. But yeah, so we'll just have to see. It can make your bipolar symptoms worse on both ends, feeling good and feeling bad. So just got to be aware of it, and stop taking the medication if it makes everything worse. Okay, so going back to my notes here. Hard left turn to go back to where we were. Hard U-turn, go back a couple blocks. So I was feeling a little guilty. I was feeling pretty guilty about like these rewards were promised. The headshot and thank you stuff were promised back in January, and they should have gone on in February. And with like, there was a lot of chaos going on in February, and I kind of let it, I wouldn't say distract me, but derail, maybe, I don't know. I let it get in the way, even if I didn't consciously let it get in the way. It got in the way, which means I let it get in the way. And I was feeling guilty about not having sent them out. I was feeling guilty about not having done the other rewards for you guys. And there's kind of like this, I think it's a very human thing. I don't think that it's like special or unique to me or anything like that. Of when you feel guilty about something, you're ashamed a little bit, and you want to fix it, but you don't want to like deal with it until it's ready to be fixed, you know? It's like, hey, I don't know, if you borrow someone's car, it's like, hey, I scratched the door. But like, you don't want to tell your friend that you scratched the door, or let me be specific. I don't want to tell my friend that I scratched the door until I have fixed it, or I have the money to help pay for it to get fixed, or like I have the plan for it to get fixed, or whatever it is. If I've caused a problem, I don't want to bring it up until I have the solution as well. And that's just how I feel about things. So now I definitely have made progress on like some of these things, but there is still like what it feels like a mountain of things that I haven't done yet. So rather than like letting it get me down or like further impede my progress on making progress for you guys, I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to acknowledge it. I know you guys are very understanding. You're not demanding at all. You're the opposite of demanding. All the pressure is coming from myself. And I'm just going to calmly accept it, acknowledge it, and keep making progress. Even a little bit is a little bit. Even like this video right here. I love making these videos. I forced myself to start making these videos once upon a time a couple months ago, and I really like making them. I really enjoy the process of it. So we're just gonna acknowledge that I feel guilty, that there's this feeling, and we're gonna let it go. We're gonna acknowledge it, feel it, and then let it go and keep moving forward. Okay, great. So here's the second mantra of Do I want to do this now? Let's jump ahead. I'll come back. I'm going to put a star on this and I'll come back to it. Or I'll just move it. How's that? Oh, no, this one, this is a pretty good transition. I wrote these down sequentially as they appeared in my head as I would be talking to you guys in this video, but we're doing it in a different order now. Oh, well, we'll do it live. So, as I was just saying, I definitely felt guilty about that stuff. I really feel guilty about not like doing music for you guys yet. And I've really, how do I say this? How do I say this? I was starting here to tell you about this chronologically next thing, and then I was like, actually, I think there's a step backwards I need to tell you guys about. So now I'm thinking about how to say this chronologically previous thing. So back in February, early February maybe, I was having a couple conversations with someone, and it was about my career. There's gonna be I'm gonna tell you guys about two different conversations over 2 different months, 2 very separate conversations. We'll call this the February conversation, and then we'll call the March one the March conversation. The February conversation was about my career, music, and not even career, my aspirations, I guess, because I don't have a music career right now. I have a Twitch career, I guess, and YouTube career. And I was talking with this person, and over a couple of weeks, we talked about music stuff. And we were potentially going to do some music stuff together, and I think we both decided not to. But as a result of this conversation, I think my confidence in my music abilities really took a hit. And there's no real like logical or rational reason why it should have. It just did. And it made me, it lowered my confidence, my self-confidence in my music. It lowered my belief in myself, I guess. And as a result, it like hit my work ethic a little bit too towards music stuff. And it kind of, I mean, to be successful in Los Angeles, you kind of have to be a little crazy, and you have to be a little bit too self-confident, and you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. Hopefully you do have other people believe in you, like your parents and your friends, but you kind of have to be a little crazy in LA to like, first to move to LA to try and succeed in whatever category it is you want to succeed in. You kind of have to be a little crazy, you know? And I lost that little bit of craziness for a while, for a couple weeks, and it kind of took a serious it took a serious effect on me for a little bit. I still knew that my music was good, but I didn't feel it. I knew it. Intellectually I knew it, but emotionally I didn't feel it. So I kind of, I don't know, I just stopped like doing music stuff for a little bit. But I've moved past that. I need to get back to where I was in like December and January. I was like extremely confident and making a lot of progress, like recording song ideas like every day. And interestingly enough, I think really that all this came about from me sharing my song ideas on stream. Sharing the song ideas on stream led to the conversation, which then led to the yada, yada, yada. And now as a result, my brain is like, my heart is like afraid of like sharing songs on stream again, even though the actual experience of sharing songs ideas on stream was fine. Like there was nothing bad about it. It was fine. but my heart is afraid of it. But my brain is like, no, you got to do what you're afraid of. You got to, exactly what you're afraid of. You got to do the thing. You got to do the thing that you're afraid of, because one, that thing has power over you and you need to take that power back. And two, the thing that you are afraid of is usually the thing you want to do most. Unless it's like, of course, like, I don't know, you're afraid of dying or something, then like, yeah, don't die. But if you're afraid of, I can't even think of other ideas right now, but usually the things that we are afraid of are the things we are secretly want the most. Like, I'm terrified of like playing music for someone I respect and them, you know, like not liking it or not feeling it or whatever. But that's because what I want most is I want to write songs that people who I like and respect, I want them to like it. I like my music is what I want most, is what I am afraid of, and therefore has the most power over me, is writing original music. You know? So you got to do it. You got to face your fears. You got to do the thing. You got to do the thing. There's another mantra. It's not really, but you got to do the thing that you're most afraid of, because that's what has the most power over you. So anyways, moving right along, we've already probably been going for like 30 minutes now, haven't we? I bet. Okay, so where to go from here? Okay, so I was like, oh, the music stuff. I was feeling off the music stuff. I feel guilty that I haven't done much music stuff. That's part of the reason why I haven't been doing much music stuff, is because there was a lot of stuff going on in February. But also, I was feeling off of my music grind or whatever. Not even grind. I was off my music vibe, and that's okay. That's like, you know, life happens. It's okay. But I'm feeling better about stuff. Trying to think of what else I could tell you about. What this is leading to is this next conversation is the March conversation. Completely different person, completely unrelated people. I had a conversation with a close friend in March a couple days ago. It was on like Thursday or Friday. Yeah, it was on like, I think it was Thursday night. I had this conversation with a friend, and I was like talking to this friend, and I was like, I think that February conversation really affected my self-confidence. And I was like, what are your thoughts on my music stuff? And this friend of mine was a little slow to respond and kind of said, you know, I'm not sure if you want to hear this. And I was like, I want the honest feedback. Hit me with it. Because I really do like honest feedback. Honest, helpful, positive feedback. You can still have criticism, but it can be positive feedback. You know what I'm saying? And the friend said to me that they didn't really see me doing much with music on a day-to-day basis. They didn't see me writing songs every day. They didn't see me. And we have like, you know, the friend and I have mutual friends who have succeeded with music and are making a really good music career for themselves. And the friend is pointing out, you're not doing these things that these other people we know do on a daily basis. You're not writing songs, you're not recording, you're not getting yourself in the room with people, you're not hitting up producers, you're not, you know, chasing after people for co-writes, you're not recording, you're not doing this on a day-to-day basis, you're not living your dream. And to me, that's not their words, it's my words. you're not living your dream. Because really what I do on a day-to-day basis is I stream video games, you know? I stream video games and I like do business things of like emails and planning things and whatever else. But I really just stream video games. That's my day-to-day stuff. And I thought about that for a couple minutes and I was like, you're right. I don't do the thing that I say that I want to do. And so, as some of you probably noticed, I took the weekend off. I didn't stream over like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Probably won't stream tonight either. It's Monday. Maybe I'll do a late stream. I don't know. It's 7:45 already p.m. And I just wanted to like disconnect and like really step back and take a look at how I'm spending my time, because if in order to really achieve your dreams, this is a good thing for you guys. In order to really achieve your dreams, you have to be aware of how you're spending your time. If you're just doing what feels good, if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, if you're just doing what everyone else tells you to do, you're not going to achieve your dreams. I've lived it. I've seen it. I know it. If you really want to achieve your dreams, you have to be aware of yourself, how you're spending your time, what you're doing, what you're spending your emotional energy on, what you're spending your mental energy on, what you're spending your money on. You have to be aware, and it's exhausting. It's 100% truly exhausting to basically like more or less be in a persistent state of like evaluating what you're doing. Because if you're not careful, if you're not evaluating yourself, and like that's, you know, like there's nothing wrong with like just living a normal life. There's nothing wrong with chilling, taking the easy way out, letting go of your dreams, and just like, I don't know, like making a good life, you know, making a good living, having a family, whatever it is to you that is, you know, if you were to give up on your dreams, what you would do. For me, it would be just like taking a good job, making enough money to live in Los Angeles. Maybe I'd move away. I don't know. Taking a good job, making a good salary to pay rent or buy a house or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, if you want to still hustle, if you really want to stay hustling and whatever, like you've got to be aware of what you're doing. Because honestly, the most successful people in the world, business, entrepreneurs, inventors, performers, engineers, I don't know, politicians, whatever. That's not nearly enough categories that I cover there. Doctors, nurses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bodybuilders. I don't know. I'm trying to cover as many bases as I can. The most successful people in the world are aware of how they're spending their resources, mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, monetary. They're aware of how they're spending their resources, and they make sure that they devote it to what's going to, on the vast majority, what's going to help them achieve their dreams. And I haven't been. I've kind of been thinking of Twitch as like my day job, and it is, but I need to start synergizing it more with music. That's like one of the realizations that I've made as a product of the conversation with my friend. I was like, you're right. I'm not doing it. I'm not spending my time and energy and whatever else towards what I myself professed goals and dreams and whatever. So I took a couple days off, and it's been really good. It's been really, really good for me. This right here ties in with the other really big mantra for me that's been really recently. So the first one was even a little bit is a little bit. And this, like, that one's really, really been like on my mind the last 2 weeks. And the other one that's really been on my mind the last 2 weeks is, especially the last 5 days, is it's this phrase, and it's been said a couple different ways. And here's the way that I heard it most recently is you have to destroy who you were in order to become who you were meant to be. Now, personally, I don't believe in the idea of like this pre-destiny, preordained, pre-established, what you were meant to be kind of thing. So the way I like to hear it in my head, one second. I'll tell you my version of it. Well, I'm looking it up, see if I can find the way that it was really. Oh, is it from Star Wars? It must be from Star Wars. Holy crap. It's Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren from Star Wars says, "Let the past die. Kill it if you have to. That's the only way to become what you are meant to be." I can't believe this is a Star Wars quote. So for me, it's, where did I put it? The way that it's been repeating in my head was you have to, I guess, burn / destroy. I don't really know which one works better for me. You have to burn who you used to be in order to become who you want to be. You have to destroy who you used to be in order to become who you want to be. I think there might have been a phrase like that in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie too. Can't remember. Anyways. It's hard because we all have habits. We all have like this, society or culture that we grew up in that might be different than what we, want to be, like what we want to, it kind of gave us an idea of like who we are supposed to be, but like we want to be different than that. We want to, even if it's just like you grew up in a small town and you want to really like be around, I don't know, like you want to be in a different city that is more attuned to like what you want to pursue. And so you have to like really push yourself to get out of that bubble and really get to where you want to be, whatever it is. Anyways, point is you have to be really aware of like yourself and how you're spending your time and energy and all that stuff. And point is that I wasn't recently, since, redeclaring my purpose in life or whatever. And that is kind of like how I feel like it was back in January. Anyways, so I took some time off and it was really good for me, and I really feel like I've made some changes or some realizations, and I'm going to be making some upcoming changes. But I don't like to talk about upcoming changes until I start making the upcoming changes. So I will tell you about my upcoming changes that I've made already in just a second. Yeah, cool. We did that one. Great. Done with that sticky note now. So I guess I'll just tell you what those updates are now, and then I'll come back to the sticky notes. So I really need to start making my Twitch stream synergize. And I think you guys, so basically, so I don't want this to come across negatively. It's a critique. I wouldn't call it a criticism. It's a critique of myself, but I don't want anybody who watches this to think that I'm criticizing them or criticizing other people who do this. It's a self-critique, and it's also because it's a self-critique because I want, my goals in life are different than like most of my current peers. Like when I stream with like Crit and Icy, they are very good video gamers. Video game players, gamers. I don't remember. They're very good players, and their goals in life, I think, are to be professional gamers. Like they're really, really good. Like that's what they want to do. And I think I'm good. I don't think I'm as good as them, of course. I think I'm good, but like also my goal is not to be a pro gamer or pro player. My goal is to be a musician and like do music stuff. I think I could, like, I think my skills are good enough to pursue that if I wanted to, question mark. You know, if I really wanted to put in the time and effort and yada, yada, yada. But I think I'd get bored. Like me personally, you know, me like with ADD and me with whatever else. I need variety. So like, anyways, for this next section of the video, I just want y'all to know that like, this is not like criticism of other people. It's just an evaluation of me and my goals in life. And I think y'all will understand. And I don't think it's even really that negative. I'm just preempting, wanting to preempt any kind of whatever. So when I stream on Twitch, it's usually video games. But like, I don't, like when I go back and evaluate myself, my streams, the games I'm playing, etc., I just don't think I'm that unique or that is really what I want to do in my life. It's not, there's so many people on Twitch who play video games and who are better than me or whatever, you know, more entertaining, more etc. And it's really just not how I want to be spending my time. I certainly enjoy video games. I love playing Overwatch. I love, you know, playing Fortnite with the Giggly Bishes. But it's, you know, it's different. It's that I think needs to be my relaxation time. And there needs to be more work streams where I'm like doing music on stream. And so what does that mean? Let's go back. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's go back to the gaming stuff. Like, if I'm really brutally honest with myself, let me open this door up a little bit. It's a little hot in here. And maybe I've said this stuff before, but so forgive me if it's repetitive. If I'm really brutally honest with myself, like, I guess I just don't necessarily find playing video games for me to be like, I don't want it to be my legacy. Like looking back 10, 20 years from now, like, I love playing games, but I don't want that to be my main thing. I don't want to be known for that. I think that there's more that I can offer to myself, to other people, to the world. So I'm trying to like figure that out. Not trying to figure that out. I'm trying to be aware of that more actively. If that makes sense? Okay. I'm not sure if that makes sense. But like, good Lord, do I love video games. But it's different. You know, it's different. Anyways, okay, so that's like that was the spiel. Didn't want, I don't know. It's me not like, I think you guys get it, but just real quickly, like, it's no shade or anything to anyone who is pursuing becoming a pro gamer, especially because like that's a skill. That's consistent effort and work, you know, like that. They're so much better than me. No shade to anyone who wants to be a pro, wants a career to be being a Twitch streamer. Like, that's awesome that you're being an entrepreneur, you're building your own business, you're like learning so many skills in order to like successfully build a business where you can make a living off it. Sorry, Twitch gaming streamer, professional life stuff. Ricky, please stop. He just like sits at the door and like whines at the outside door because he hears noises out there. Okay, anyways, moving on. So I made some, I need to make more adjustments, and that means I'm going to start doing more music streams. We've done like a handful, but I'm really trying to make efforts of making it a ongoing thing. This past week, we set up streamersonglist.com. If you guys haven't seen that yet, we set that up. It's a website where a lot of music streamers have like their song list database. And anytime anybody wants to request a song, they go check out the database and they can make a request according to like what songs you know. And if people want you to learn a new song, it costs a little bit more, but you can do like a live learn where you learn the song live on stream. So I've been building out my database and going through and adding a whole bunch of songs. Also making a giant list of songs that I want to learn that is not on the database, not on the streamer song list webpage yet, because I want to learn them myself first. So we may do some like learning streams in the future. So where I'm just like playing music, but I'm like playing songs that I want to learn. So it's a non-request stream. Usually what I've learned by watching music streamers is that they'll have like a sign that says like music requests, taking requests on or taking requests off, or requests are open versus requests are closed. So it just kind of like, if you get to the stream early, you can make a request and it'll get played on the stream, and then they'll close their requests and then they'll just finish out the queue so that, you know, they don't leave people making requests and then it not getting played for, you know, another couple days or something like that. So I think that's a pretty fair way to do it. Hi, babe. So anyways, that's like a pretty cool thing. Also, another update is I finally bought my, you know, that like loop pedal that I had on Amazon maybe. In case you don't know, there's a loop pedal that I really want to get. It's a nice loop pedal. It was on Amazon for like almost $600, and then they like ran out. But there's like another like side seller on Amazon that has it for like $600. Well, I found it on Craigslist in LA for like $400. So I'm gonna be buying that tomorrow night. Already been emailing back and forth with the person for a couple days now. Lives actually decently close by. It's not too far. Pretty much unused, like just opened the box once apparently, put pictures online, looks really, really nice. So I'm going to have him demonstrate the product to me before I buy it, just to show that it works and all that stuff. Hi, baby. I'm nervous. I'm excited, nervous about getting this thing. Not nervous about the trade, a little nervous about the trade, but not that nervous. I'm excited, nervous about getting this thing like thing that I've wanted for months, if not years. And I'm finally going to have it. And it's a big, big tool for me to utilize to do cool music performances on stream. I have to learn it. I have to learn how to use it like any tool. But it's pretty cool. It's going to be really cool. I've already been like envisioning, like I've been listening back to songs that I know how to play or I want to learn how to play, and envisioning how I can use this. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a live looping pedal. You can record a segment of music, guitar or singing or whatever, and then it loops it. And there's different pedals on this thing where you can like have different, I think there's 4. So like you can have 4 different loops recorded at a time and stop and start all of them independently. So you can have a guitar loop, you can have a background vocals loop, you can have a chorus loop, you can have a giant full mix loop. I don't know. And then you can like start and stop them all in different ways. And it's pretty cool. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. That's another update that I wanted to tell you guys about for music stuff. So when we finally do start, so like on the learning streams, you know, I'll have to learn how to use this loop pedal, and I'll have to figure out all the chords for it. I have no idea what all that entails. We'll find out. How it's going to change the mixers and stuff. So yeah, okay, so that's that. Trying to think of what else to tell you guys about. Let's just go through I'm trying to think about what is the most like logical thing next to talk about, and I'm getting held up, so I'm just going to talk about whatever's next on the sticky notes instead. There's 2 articles that I want to share with you guys. Like, oh, another thing I want to tell you guys about. So after, no, before. So like I said, my music confidence took a hit back in February. And it kind of culminated, I don't know. Last week, on like Wednesday or Thursday, it was right before the conversation with a friend. I had this existential crisis, my weekly existential crisis, where I evaluate what I'm doing, if I'm actually making progress or anything like that. You know what I mean? And it got to the point, Lucy's giving me a little bath right now. It got to the point where I started looking up jobs. I was so lacking in my self-confidence, and I was also like I was so exhausted of when you are freelance, self-employed, you have to hustle every month to make rent, especially in Los Angeles in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I was so exhausted last week of having to hustle every single month to make rent. Right now, like I've got like, you know, an extra couple of months rent, but I've got a couple of extra months rent, but like, you never know, like, especially because like most of my income is like, you know, donation based. It's unreliable. You never know when someone, I think I've mentioned this before, you never know when like someone or like Whisper or Lord Firestaff are going to come in and make a huge donation. And as a result, you never know if you're going to get that, you never know if you're going to get that stuff or not. But you guys are super, super wonderful, and the community in general is super, super wonderful. So I'm at a point where I'm like able to make this a living, but you know, it's tough. And it's exhausting. So I actually started looking at jobs. I looked at office jobs. There's this like big YouTube director of partnerships for North America for gaming, director of gaming partnerships. So it's like, like managing not managing, but like helping big gaming channels on YouTube and talking to them and figuring out how you can help them grow their business, and like what tools can you create to like help them, and what companies can you partner them with, yada yada. Like, how can you grow gaming on YouTube? And I think I'm a really good possibility for that kind of job. I worked at Maker Studios. I helped build the game station / Polaris. I helped get PewDiePie signed to Maker Studios way back in the day. I managed gaming channels like Cinnamon Toast Ken, Josh Jepson, Attacking Toucans. Who even else would you guys know? I don't know. Other folks on YouTube. And then I left and started doing it myself. I did gaming on YouTube for a long time, and now I'm over at Twitch, because Twitch is better right now for a lot of gaming creators. And so I know the competition. I know why the competition is better. I have all this experience and this background and on the platform, like 9 or 10 years of experience. That'd be really good for them. But it'd be a full-time job. And it's like it's a very high level. It's like a senior position at YouTube. And I'd have to go into work every day. It's like an hour commute from where I live right now. So I started looking at all these different jobs, all these different gaming jobs, these internet jobs, Twitch jobs, esports jobs, and it kind of helped fuel the existential crisis. And it inspired that conversation with my friend, because it's like, if I take any of these jobs, if I apply for and take any of these jobs, accept them, I'm essentially giving up on the dream. I'm essentially giving up on music, And it was really hard. It was really, really hard. And that's why I took Friday off, is because like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is what I should be doing. I don't know if I should just take an office job and just make a bunch of money and be happy with that and just do music as a hobby, or if I need to just keep doing the hustle and trying to grow the music stuff. And so I had this conversation with my friend. My friend was like, well, to be honest, I don't see you doing the music stuff. You're not doing it on a day-to-day basis. So are you really even pursuing the music thing? And I was like, wow, you're right. I'm not. But instead of being like, you're right, I'm not, I've already given up, or something like that. Or I'm not, therefore, do I even really want this? No. Instead of that, I'm like, you're right, I'm not. I got to change that. So I took, I took Friday off. I think I woke up on Saturday. Friday was a low point for me. And I woke up Saturday and I was like, because I went to bed Friday being like, what am I doing in my life? Do I even want to do this? Super questioning everything. I woke up Saturday and I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to do this. Music it is. Let's go. I'm ready to still be a hungry, starving artist like broke in LA for a couple more years. We can always take the office job later. But for now, I'm back on my boosh. So I woke up Saturday feeling a lot better and very much decided to like keep at it. I don't know. I just wanted to share that story with you guys, like what's going through my head, what I've been going through, and even I don't know. Like I've been pursuing this for 9-10 years now, not necessarily consistently, but like doing this for 9 or 10 years, doing this internet thing, and even after you do it for 9 or 10 years, you might still have moments. Do whatever it is. You pursuing your passion, your dreams, even after doing it for 9 or 10 years, you're going to have moments where you question and you think about what else, the alternatives. If you gave up, what would you be doing? And giving up is not bad. Like sometimes you got to give up. If you start a family, you might have to do an alternate thing and take a different route because you need to make more money to support your family. Or maybe not even starting a family, you just have family you have to support. You have to support your parents for whatever reason, you know? There's reasons why you might have to give up your dreams, and it's not a bad thing. It's just different. Maybe you come back to it later on, you know? Like, acting's an easy example for me because it's something I'm really experienced with or whatnot. But like, for example, like Morgan Freeman didn't even start acting until he's like late 40s, right? Harrison Ford didn't start acting until his like late 30s, and he was just a PA. He was just like an assistant on set. He was a carpenter before that or something, you know? So like, who knows? Maybe giving up your dreams, you might actually find something else you really love or passionate about, you know? I don't want there to be a negativity or a negative vibe or negative view on like giving up your dreams. Like it's a tough decision to make. And people who make it, hopefully, you know, there's still something out there for you, and or maybe you can come back to it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end. But I definitely thought about it. I was like, am I just gonna be doing music on the part-time? Do I come, you know, I was also thinking like, do I just take an office job for a little bit till I'm like, you know, for 5 years or whatever, and then come back to music? You know, can you come back? Can you come back to music? Can you start music late the same way that like you can for acting? Is there a Morgan Freeman or Harrison Ford of music who started music later? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if music necessarily has that same type of thing. I do know that there are older music performers and older generations of musicians who are still touring and doing that stuff, but they also had like a built-in audience back when they were coming up, you know? So it's like, it's a little different. Like, I don't know. Paul McCartney, Johnny Cash, the Stones even. The Stones were still touring, or they were still touring a couple years ago. Stuff like that. Journey, you know? Paul McCartney still puts out new music. He still collaborates with like radio artists like Jay-Z and whatever. So I don't know. Hello. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but I also know that I'm not ready to take a break yet. So, but it means we got to change some stuff. That's what it means. Okay. So that was what I wanted to talk about with that sticky note. It was a really good conversation. It was a really good conversation, my friend. We talked about more stuff, but it was like that particular moment was enlightening. Yeah. May come back to that in a second. So there's two articles that I recently read that I want to share with you guys. I want to post the links to them in the on the Patreon. Maybe I'll post them in the Discord too. I don't know why Discord came out of my mouth right there, but I may. Oh, I didn't even send it to myself. Did I not send it to myself? Dang. Yeah, here we are. I just never sent them. So there's two articles I want to send to you. I want to show to you guys. One is quote, "The 2 mental shifts highly successful people make," and maybe one of my mantras is from that article. Who knows? And the other one is probably I think it's by the same author, and it's called 50 Ways. Okay, what is it actually called? I was just reading the URL. 50 Ways that happier, healthier, and more successful people live on their own terms. And I found both of these things very inspiring for me. I kind of read them over the last couple of days during the whole existential crisis stuff. And they were very inspiring and good for me. Not everything will be good for you guys, but like, and not everything was good for me either, but like, not everything is in these is like perfect for each person. But there's some really, really great gems in there that I think you guys would really benefit from. And I'd love to pass it along your way. Yeah, I'll definitely put it in the Patreon post, but I may post these on the Discord as well, just so other people can read them too. Okay, cool. Made some recent updates to The Office as well. Speaking of like just updates in general. So right now the VR is fully set up. We've got VR Oculus. We've got the trackers and everything. It's really, really cool. I'm digging it. We've been doing some morning VR exercise streams like cardio. We call them VRdio. I call them VRdio. Doing Beat Saber. We also got Beat Saber set up. I also added some improvements to Beat Saber where there is Twitch chat now actually on the side. Also, we've got like custom songs in VR now in Beat Saber. So some really, really great songs in there too. We did like Bohemian Rhapsody on stream. We did like Ellie Goulding. We did, what else did we do? Dragostea Dente. We tried to do All Star, but they were terrible, etc., etc., etc. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by, okay, cool, great. I shouldn't be getting distracted by that, but I am. VR is great. We're going to do more VR streams. We actually have Twitch chat in the Beat Saber now. I don't necessarily know if we have it for the other games, but we'll figure it out. Really, really cool. VR is all set up. We're going to be having more improvements for VR coming in soon. We're going to have like a curtain rod, and the cords will go up over the curtain rod and down instead of like on the floor where you can potentially get stepping on them or tripped up by them. I'm going to be redoing my entire desk probably some point this week. You guys are really, really awesome, and you sent in some really wonderful presents, like the uplift legs where like the desk can go up or down, standing height or sitting height. So I'm really excited about that, because when we have it standing height, I might not even have to have a different camera for performing music. We might just be able to like raise the desk and that'll be the camera, the normal camera, this camera right here that we're using right now. We can always set up another camera if we need to, but it'd be great if we could just use this camera. Because I'll probably want to be standing up when I do music streams. Also, the monitor stand. There's a really cool monitor stand that one of you guys sent in. I think it was Blah. I think Leah sent me the legs, and I think frick, was it Crispy Toast? Oh, I think it was Crispy Toast. Frick. I'm embarrassed for not remembering which of them sent it, but regardless, one of you was really awesome and sent in really cool monitor stand, so I can clear up my desk space and have the monitors somewhere more vertical and all that good stuff, which will be great. Next. Other desk improvements arriving tomorrow from Amazon. Loop pedal also, I'm going to buy it tomorrow. Also, Charmin sent me a gift. I'm waiting till on stream so I can open it when she's actually able to watch live. But I think that's another Office improvement, so we'll find out about that very soon. And then, once we get everything off the desk, then we can do the loop pedal and change all the audio stuff. And one thing that I really want to do for the audio stuff is actually in VR, in order to hear alerts and stuff, I'm going to actually not listen to the headset itself. I'm going to listen to the headset output, which is going to be requiring a output from my mixer over here, and the mixer cord, the new headphone cord for the VR stuff, will go all the way up and then down the cords. Just think of it as like a really cool audio way that I can hear alerts in VR. Okay, cool, great. We're gonna have to rebuild the desk itself with the monitor stand and with the new legs. Those are all the Office updates, but it's gonna take a lot of time and effort, and I'm really excited about it because it's gonna be pretty sweet. I told you guys about streamersonglist.com, building out the list. Might do some practice streams. Told you guys all about that. We talked about gaming streams. I'm still gonna do gaming streams, but I'm not a gamer. I don't want to be a gamer. I play video games, but I'm not a gamer. I'm a musician. I'm not an actor. I'm not a gamer. I don't even really feel like a YouTuber. I feel like a musician. I feel like that's a term that describes me. That's the kind of people who I get along best with. I don't know. So that's my purpose. And here's like a more relevant part. And I feel like it's easy to lose your purpose or lose sight of your purpose a little bit or a lot when you let yourself get distracted by what everyone else is doing. And that's definitely what I do, I think. Since I stream on Twitch, and everyone, pretty much like the vast majority of people I follow on Twitch, all they're doing is playing games. So like when Apex Legends came out, I felt this like pressure to like play Apex, you know? Even though like I never played Titanfall. I don't really enjoy first-person shooters. I like third-person shooters better, or third-person games better. And whatever else. And I played it and I was just like, I felt the pressure to, and then I played it and I was like, I don't like this. Which is fine. Like everyone likes different stuff. And then like everyone else that I follow, like they're, you know, constantly grinding like Fortnite, or they're grinding Overwatch, or they're grinding Spellbreak. Or like everyone gets super hyped about new video games. And that's awesome. Like I do too, you know, of course. And I feel this pressure to do what everyone else is doing. But that's not me. And therefore, this next part, I think it's important to surround yourself with people who remind you of your purpose. Both like surround yourself physically, metaphorically, digitally, with people who, you know, who inspire you towards your purpose, who push you to be the best that you can towards your purpose, and also remind you of your purpose. And it can be, you got to be careful not to like let yourself get psyched out by other people, because like there's other people who are going to be better than you at, or more accomplished or whatever than you at what you want to do, and you might get jealous, you might get demotivated, you might get psyched out, you might get you might feel like you're not as good, etc., etc., etc. But try to think of it, what you got to do is you got to try to think of it as like inspiration for you to either do it your own way or do it unique, you know, or to learn from them. Maybe they can help you. Maybe they have things, maybe not like giving you advice, but like you can pick up ideas or tips from how they've done things, you know? But I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who inspire you towards your purpose. So for me, that means like finding more Twitch music streamers and seeing what they do. And like, what I really think of it as is like saturating your unconscious. Saturate your unconscious with whatever it is you want to do. You want to be a great baseball player? Like, play baseball, watch baseball, listen to baseball, listen to baseball analysis, listen to like baseball players talking about, like watch baseball games, whatever it is. You want to be like a doctor who studies cancer. Surround yourself with it. Saturate your unconscious, your subconscious, saturate it with whatever it is you want to do. It's the same type of thing that I used to talk about in previous videos for you guys, of like meditating on something. I think I talked about it with you guys, but it's like meditate on something. Saturate your subconscious. If you want to be an artist, with whatever art it is that you want to do, like saturate your brain with it. Think about it. Meditate about it. I thought I was hearing the dogs. really like focus on it as much as possible, consciously and unconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Saturate your subconscious. There's another mantra for you. Just write all these down. I think the S's work better together. Saturate your subconscious instead of unconscious. I don't know why. Oh yeah, so for me that means like, you know, immersing myself more in the music side of Twitch, doing more music streams, working towards doing all the music stuff. So yeah. And speaking of that stuff, like I feel guilty about like not really fulfilling my duties for like February stuff. Specifically like recording a song and yeah, like writing and recording a new original, and then like I think it was supposed to also like record a song and put it on Patreon or on YouTube, and that guilt is pretty strongly hanging over me. But because I don't have that solution yet, like I'm reticent, I'm like anxious to even like talk about it. But I try to maintain as honest a conversation with you guys as possible about all that stuff. So, I think my current solution is for March just to do double, do twice as much of whatever it is in order to like make up for it. That's my current solution. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let me catch up on this. Yeah, surround yourself with people who inspire you and push you to be your best and remind you / yourself of your purpose. Put that one in the description as well. For people who can't necessarily watch all of it, I want to like, you know, drop some mantras for you guys. Just be able to get. Okay, and I told you about almost went for an office job this last week. Tough conversation with the friends, and then but it resulted all this evaluating myself, thinking about taking the job, having the it was a tough conversation to have with my friend, the March one. It was a tough conversation to have, but it all resulted in me being re-inspired and reinvigorated and making big changes in my life to achieve my dreams. And that's what you got to do. Like, that's what you got to do. You got to have that tough love sometimes. Like, that's really what it was. This is what this conversation was. It was a tough conversation, a tough love conversation. What did I get on my shirt? Here's another little thing is, for me with my ADHD and whatever, it's similar to like even a little bit is a little bit. There's another one is patience and progress. When you're faced with something that feels overwhelming, be patient with yourself and focus on making progress. Because even a little bit is a little bit. Whatever it is, whether it's studying for a test, studying for an exam, getting through college, getting through high school, whatever it is, career, be patient with yourself and focus on the progress. I think that's an easy thing for us to forget about, is like, what is the progress you're making, you know? For me, it's easy to forget about. But yeah, it's also be patient with yourself, but yeah, it's two forms. Be patient with yourself and just focus on the progress. And be patient with yourself, but make progress. So it's like a more stern, more tough love, like be patient, but you have to make progress. You have to make progress. You can't let yourself get, what is it called? Immobilized. You can't let yourself get immobilized by the fear, the anxiety, the worry, the stress. You can't let yourself get immobilized by it. You've got to make progress. But also be patient with yourself. Love yourself. Treat yourself with love. Talk to yourself with love. Talk to yourself with kind words. Talk to yourself with motivating words. Talk to yourself with self-acceptance. Treat yourself with love. But make progress. Yeah. I think that's how my dad used to talk to me. Is this kind of like tough but loving. Yeah. Patience in progress. Patience. Yeah, patience and progress. I like that. Patience and progress. And that was my last sticky note right there. Yeah, I mean, it's just the headshots and the letters they're overwhelming, but it's not that bad. I mailed 6 of them today, It's like basically 20%. We're 20% done now. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to make sure that they all work, and then we're just going to get the rest of them done. It's not a big deal. We're going to make progress, and we're going to get them out. And we're going to fulfill the rest of the rewards. These are the ways that I talk to myself. It's like, yes, but we're okay. Yes, but everything's going to be fine. You're going to make progress, as you have been. But also be aware of how you're spending your time. So that's me laying my soul bare for you guys for like an hour or two now. I'm sure you've had enough. So I'm gonna get out of here and skedaddle. Oh, cool! I didn't think it was actually gonna get skedaddle. Good job. I guess that's it for now. That was a lot. That was a lot. But I felt like it was pretty organized. It was in a very different order than I wrote it. But that's how it goes sometimes. I hope some of this was helpful for you guys. I appreciate your patience. If at any time you need to change anything, your amount of pledge or anything, like totally fine. Just know that I appreciate you guys, That's really it. That's really the main thing. Whether or not you're even a part of the Patreon. I mean, I do appreciate those of you who are a part of the Patreon. But you're still wonderful people, and you're still solid human beings. And I hope things are going well for you guys. March is like time for exams, a lot of exams, but also start of spring break time. So I hope things are going well for those of you who are in school. And those of you going on spring break, I hope you have a good spring break. And yeah, I just hope things are going well with you guys. There's a lot happening this week. Doctor's meeting for potentially getting ADHD medication. Amazon shipment arriving. Buying the pedal. I think I might be acting in a Brandon Rogers video on Wednesday. Redoing the desk this week. Setting up the pedal. There's a lot going on. I'll probably start more music streams this week as well. Cool beans. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day or night. Thanks for listening or watching this. And no worries if you weren't able to finish it. Still much love to you. Have a good one, and I will see you again very soon, hopefully. Okay, bye.